Bill Moseley,
Danielle Harris,
Dick Warlock,
George Romero,
Kane Hodder,
Robert England,
Ronnie Blakely,
C.J. Graham.
and you're listening to
Deep in the Horror of Texas.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Oh, hey, you okay?
Damn enchilada!
You gonna be alright?
I'm feeling woozy air. What's in the box?
It's black as time.
What's in the fucking box?
Anything!
Something on this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deep in the Horror of Texas. This is Jeff.
I'm Nathan.
And this is Ralph.
We're here today to talk about the new remake of Pet Semetary.
Woo, buddy.
Oh, man.
This movie, like...
Silence. Uncomfortable gap.
Oh, no. We're not going to do uncomfortable silence. This movie, we got a trailer, late last year?
Which was fucking
Mid
phenomenal.
to late last
the
year?
trailer
Yeah.
was... Oh, my God.
The trailer really did bring up a lot of hype, and for them, like, first starting off with Stephen King's It, which did amazing, and now leading into Pet Semetary, what better movie to jump into,
The kids drumming
Yeah.
and wearing the mask. I mean...
The procession.
Oh, the family setup. And I was very hyped up for John Lithgow to be playing the Judd character. I was like, whoa, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, buddy.
And, yeah, it looked very, just promising, eerie.
Yeah.
Like you said, Stephen King's It. I was like, oh man, I'm on the hype train. This looks amazing.
Yeah, the trailers really did sell it for a lot of us, and the movie, like anytime you get like a book adaptation of a movie, they're going to take their own little liberties and whatnot. And this movie, with the exception of a few things here and there in the book, because we are talking about a fairly large book, like about the size of It, if I'm not mistaken.
No. This
Wasn't
is maybe half the size of it.
Half the
I think
size?
it's about 350, maybe 400 pages.
Oh, okay, that's not too terrible.
It's a nice paperback to pick up.
Okay.
I haven't read it.
374.
I haven't read it in quite a while.
374.
Jeez, that was scary.
But
Looking
A
down.
little scarier than
No,
the movie.
I remember it being closer to something the size of It, but I might be mistaken.
Yeah, there you go.
I could
It
be
was
thinking of a completely
hailed
different
as like one of his most scary books.
Yeah.
I mean, the book is actually pretty fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
I thought it was scarier than It.
And if
I read
anybody,
both.
if you have Audible with Amazon and stuff like that, check out they did a reissue of the audiobook, and it's actually read by the guy who plays Dexter. I forget his name.
Dexter Morgan?
The guy who played the TV show Dexter.
Dexter, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his actual... Michael something, right? But
Michael Jai White.
I don't think so. But
Yes, that is correct. Michael C. Hall.
There you go.
Yeah, he does the
the guy from Weird Science.
He narrates the Michael C. Hall from Weird Science and Breakfast Club. The guy from Dexter does the audiobook, and it actually does a really good job because he plays all the characters pretty well.
yeah, I was actually thinking about listening to it before watching the movie and after watching the movie, and I saw it on Audible. It's 15 hours long. I was like, nope, not going to cram that
for 374. Like Ralph told me that, and I was like, "Fuck, that was kind of a thick book, but
No, I read that.
I thought it was bigger.
You can read that in one sitting if you have
if you got the time.
You have the time.
Yeah,
But
you
dude,
read every third word.
skin. No, it's a really good. It's a really good book. Though. I've only read it once or twice. But it was enough for me to I appreciate it.
I read whatever my dad had in his library, which was Dolores Claiborne.
It's a fucked up book to read.
Yeah, that was a fucked up one.
Yeah.
Like
look at the.
Your hands are cold. Warm them up here.
What is that called? So eclipse. Just keep looking at the eclipse, honey.
It's creepy as show.
Nah, my dad had a bunch of books from college, and a lot of them were weirdly enough Stephen King books. But back to the movie. This movie it takes a lot more from the books than I believe the original did. Granted, it does take some changes here and there where they kind of make their own little liberties, but either way, they still miss out on some things that I wish they would have touched up on.
Yeah. I had a lot of promise with these two directors because they did Starry Eyes. It's mediocre film. I mean, I find it to be fun because the horror genre needed something like this. It's somewhere between Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway kind of fucking play area, which is very Lynchian. So seeing these two directors tackle a Stephen King property was really enticing to me because I really loved Starry Eyes. I enjoyed it. I think I actually have the soundtrack too, which was released from Waxworks and just got repressed, I think, recently. But yeah, dude, I was really looking forward to seeing what these two directors would do because, I mean, they handled Chuck Palahniuk's work sincerely and I think well enough that I was always looking forward to what their next project was going to be. And when they tackled Pet Semetary, I was like, wow, if they bring anything that they did with Starry Eyes, I think we're in for a treat. Also, what's another takeaway from this? If you're sitting down in the theater and you're wondering why this film looks so clean and good and fun, is that the cinematographer is actually the same cinematographer that's worked with a lot of Ben Wheatley's films. And if you're not familiar with Ben Wheatley, get on that ball. That is one of the directors to just go through his filmography, start at Kill List and get your way up to High Rise, and then even check out Free Fire, which I think was just exquisitely missed in the recent years. I mean, these are really great films, and they're photographed very well. And seeing this guy, I think it's Laurie something, I forget his name.
Strode?
I wish. But this cinematographer, he kicks ass, and he does a good job in Pet Semetary. It just feels like, we'll get into it. It's just when you're dealing with a property like King, I think there's a lot of liberties you can take for the better and also obviously for the worse.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So let's start it off. Like, this movie, it starts off in the same fucking way that we can always think of, which is pretty much the family comes in.
No, it starts even worse than that. It starts with a drone shot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which was cool. Just horrible.
No way.
I hated it.
I found that.
Well, you didn't really like the drone shot in the Evil Dead remake, right? Or was that you?
No, that made me sick in theaters.
Okay, that was you. I was
like
thinking
pan down, hand up. Oh,
I wanted purpose for that situation, and I guess the illusion of to the end was going to be. It was great setup, but then you watch the end and you're like, you should have just saved it. Mm-hmm. That was like revealing.
I liked it because it shows you like this turbulence. Okay, it's like. What was
the fire in the field?
I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
As the sun is starting to rise, you're coming across this like murder scene. I kind of gave me the EBGBs. Gotcha. Honestly, I really like the opening. I mean, you see the blood smears on the ground and then smeared on the fucking wall and the handrail and shit.
That's nasty.
It was like, fuck, this is what you would walk up on. And I kind of dug that.
Yeah, especially getting at the
fucking Tarantino'd you.
They always do.
Yeah. But you're saying like the shows the family show up. And,
yeah,
that was just.
Yeah, you did start off with that. I completely forgot about that. But then you end up getting it. It starts off with the family showing up, just like it did the original.
Yeah,
and you're introduced to all the main characters: Ellie, Rachel, Church. Blah, 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 blah. What's the kid's name? I forgot his name already. Gage. You get introduced to the entire family, and they're coming from Boston of all places, to come and enjoy the scenery and enjoy this new place.
Yeah, they just want to, same thing. They wanted to get away.
Mm-hmm.
He was
less
working
busy
the
life.
doctor was working graveyard shift, didn't have much time for the family.
Right.
This would give him.
And I don't remember them saying that in the original.
Yeah.
Did they?
Well, they allude to that he needed to get away from the city just to have more family time.
Yeah. Okay.
Same kind of setup. I mean, it's pretty much the same film.
Carbon.
Yeah, it's literally carbon copy.
Yeah.
Except they smear all the letters wrong.
Smeared all the letters wrong.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do like how they did the original Pet Semetary, the title card with the green foliage behind it. I really was digging the beginning of this movie. I don't know why. Like I said, the murder scene, the title card. I really like Jason Clarke. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I loved him in that Terminator film. That was really
Shut
good.
the fuck up.
He was good.
Genesis?
Yeah.
That's where you're basing him off
That's
of?
what I'm basing him off of.
Okay.
He was
I
good
didn't
in that.
see Genesis.
Genesis was fun. I saw it in
This
theaters.
was all right. It's not the worst of the series. Yeah.
Not exactly the best either, from what
Yeah,
I'm told.
Terminator 3 holds that title. That was
I like Terminator 3.
What?
I like Terminator 3.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was a
This
good
is
Another mush face actor I can't stand.
Nick Stahl's amazing in that film.
Oh, they.
God, and then you have the next one with Anton Yelchin. Or Yelkin.
And Christian Bale, yeah.
Yelkin.
That one I just watched. It's
And
on
Sam
Netflix. It
Worthington
wasn't
from
half
Avatar,
bad.
which is
Really?
it's a great film.
Yeah, it wasn't half bad.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you!
Oh, good for you.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, I was digging. It felt all too familiar. I think that was a problem for me. It was like,
and if you can't tell, listeners, they got the leash on me big time because I would eat this fucking film.
Well, we're gonna eat the film
with a fucking spoon.
You can
this
lay into it. You already said that, so go ahead and let go.
Let him have his fun.
I think you get the one only shot of the road being an actual threat at the very beginning of the film, which is fucking very seldom. Oh my God, the road. It's scary. And then Judd's introduction is totally through Ellie. So you are basically father never taking interest in his neighbor throughout maybe the first 20 minutes.
I hate
of the
how
film.
they meet. I agree.
And John Lithgow's and the chemistry of that is just so, it could have been, it pales in comparison of the original. Like so much of this film.
Well, there's a thing, okay, is how what was Munster's name? I forget the original actor's name.
Gotcha. The original Judd was.
Yep.
I remember his name. I just Fred Gwynn. So in the original, Fred Gwynn, he's the bringer of information.
Watch out for that road.
Yeah,
that road's taking one of
Oh,
lives.
come here, little fella. He carries the kid off the road. How you doing? I'm Judd. I'm your neighbor. Blah blah blah. You got to be careful with that road. Blah. There's trucks that just haul ass down it. I mean, he's an informational.
He's the
neighbor.
neighborly. He's being neighborly.
But if you're gonna do something right, you're gonna really introduce the Pet Semetary correctly in this new remake in 2019. Oh no! They stumble upon it. The little girl gets to visit it by herself, and Judd meets her there in the Pet Semetary, and it's just dry as shit. There is no true interjection of like, hey, we're gonna be introduced to the Pet Semetary as a family with Judd. No, we're gonna cancel that out. It's just gonna be there's no remarks about how that roads claim the lives of a lot of these pets and the uniqueness of the pets. It's like, no, we're talking about processions and the rituals and stuff for that. You don't set up a
bee stings.
I was just like shaking my head. And by halfway through this movie, I was like, this is boring.
Checked out.
This is dull. And by the time we got to the ending, I was like, oh my God, this darkness that everybody was saying that was so extreme. It's maybe on that hipster ratio, it's there. This is like somebody that saw Hereditary and said, hey, I'm going to try to do something like that, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's what the whole film felt like. It was like you missed the basis of what the horror film was supposed to be. And it's not about scaring you. It was about, let me firmly adjust you to this family and let me peel that banana, stripping it away from you and showing the fear of loss. And I think that's what this film missed completely. Is like you're supposed to hurt throughout Pet Sematary. You're not supposed to be like jump scares and lollygag through dark imagery and crap like that. Even Pascal was handled incorrectly in my eyes.
Yeah, Pascal was underutilized. Granted, like in the books, I'm pretty sure he only made one appearance, and from there he just
5.
He's the avenging angel. He's the person that says, "Hey, you did right by me. I'm going to try to prevent. I'm going to try to prevent damnation."
Yeah,
and that's how he reaches to be almost ascension to.
Right. Don't break the barrier. The ground is soil, or the ground is spoiled. Sour. There you go.
Sour.
Yeah. It's like he was the warning. And what they forgot in this movie is even when he would be dream walking or whatever the hell, but actually walking, but thought it was a dream, Pascal would be there to tell him, don't go over the wall. Yeah. Don't break the barrier. Don't break the seal.
You tried to save me, Doc. I'm going to do something for you.
As soon as the dad crossed that line, he moved on to the kid and wife and started warning them to get the fuck out, stay away, go. Like, and he was always trying to keep them away from each other, because they did say the line correctly in this movie, though, where I'm showing you, it was something along the lines of like, I'm showing you your own destruction if you choose to break the seal.
Yeah,
he says something about that.
He's walking the road and he's like showing you like the last vision I can show you is like, this will be your road to damnation if you follow this any further. And he's walking the road the way the daughter does.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this it also pulls a lot of punches, killing Ellie instead of Gage. I don't know if the book did that. I think Gage died in the book.
Gage died.
Where Ellie, I thought it was just weak. It wasn't done right. Like when Gage got hit in the original movie, it was like, oh my fucking God, you see the bloody shoe flopping and
No. It's emotional because
the kid standing and the truck's coming towards him.
You get that flash of the dad saying no, and then you get the photos of like your child's life.
Oh right, yeah.
From being like born as a baby to being a first birthday to like current, and it's like those flashes of those photos is like what drives home the amount of loss the father experiences.
That was the best acting that fucking Dave Midkiff has ever done.
I attacked that guy's fucking acting, but you know what redeemed him? This fucking asshole's fucking acting was horrible.
It's a surprise.
I was like, wow, you made the original better. Like, thank you. I guess that was the gift.
You know what? But Jason Clarke did a lot of subtle things that I really fucking liked. When he's standing at the funeral and he's just kind of looking and you see the tears just start coming. And he's looking at each person, looking at the fucking the
dad,
father-in-law, then looking at Judd, looking at the casket, looking at Judd, and it's like motionless, but just his eyes are moving and the tears start streaming.
But since they use the book heavier in the original, you get the scene of like the father going, "I told you." What the fuck?
Them fighting at the funeral,
and the baby's fucking coffin hitting the ground. I go, that. You just made that better. It's like, thank you again. It's like, y'all are constantly. They faltered so much in this film.
They faltered a lot. And it makes me think with how abruptly, how quickly the story moves without containing relationships. It seems like there's a lot on the cutting room floor. It seems like they're like, no, this movie needs to be under a certain amount of time. It seems that way to me because the Rush relationship with Judd, there's just a lot of missing parts that should connect this.
If you have any blueprint to what you should do, you had the original film.
Yeah.
Anything that should have held your head high and go, you know what, we're going to do this, but perfect it. They had it in the original film. Did they do the side stories of the sister, or do the side stories that Judd tells about his dog, or the side story about the returning army guy? They don't use those scary stories to tell in the dark moments in this film. No. They refer to Google searches and very small fucking like flip through this fucking Indian book at Judd's house.
Yeah.
And
I saw this sign on the tree.
The one thing I did like about flipping through the book at Judd's is they make mention of the Wendigo, which they did not touch on in the original. And if you watch the movie, I can't remember if it's whenever I'm pretty sure it's when they're taking the cat. and
He hears the noise.
the father hears the noise, and he looks over, and if you look in the direction that he's looking, you could see the Wendigo.
Gotcha.
And the Wendigo disappears like right there.
Gotcha.
Like it's very subtle. That I enjoyed a lot because I was like, I really wanted to see the Wendigo.
And watch Hannibal.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm going to have to do.
No. I see what you're saying because they say the same exact line. It's like, ooh, it's just a loon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
So that I liked.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I like in this movie.
I think there's 2 things I like in this movie. And that was,
That's a couple. Oh, 3 for me then.
it was like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it retraces the original, but exits out a lot of good stuff from the original and doesn't replace it with anything better.
No.
And I think that's a real fucking shame.
If you want to watch
I actually had to look this up to make sure these movies weren't Stephen King's Dollar Baby. I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
And he used to license it out for $1 for new directors and shit like that.
I think he's only done
It's
that.
not though, but I was just like, what? Either the script was absolutely written this way and the director just did shot for shot with no vision, or the script was written accordingly and the director just made
his own
an error in judgment. Yeah, which is an error. Or my opinion, it's an error.
Either way.
I mean, it's
the dominoes fell, and I'm sorry. I mean, you're given a good cast, which I think was a very strong cast.
I didn't like the wife.
No, nobody ever likes the wife.
Am I right or am I right or am I right?
Especially Denise Crosby. Like, name another movie Denise Crosby came out in. Oh, yeah, that one movie with the fish thing, humanoids of the deep or some shit. Yeah, it's like yeah, Denise Crosby. But no, for what she did in the original compared to what this chick did in this one, it's like they didn't even sell the Zelda correctly. Like, how do you fuck up that character?
And that was one of the creepiest things in the original.
And when you went with a female actress and you got a young actress to play the young Zelda with a twisted spine and all that crap, it's like, and then they added all the bullshit with the fucking elevator dumbwaiter thing. I was like,
that was that was actually one part that made me jump.
That was like
when she opened the medicine cabinet and looked up and the goddamn body fell out. I was like, ah!
I just imagine a guy in Cali smoking joints like, I like Hill House. let me write this scene.
Yep.
It's like, fuck, dude. That's what I thought. That's what I felt for it. You know, you felt it. You know,
Yeah.
No, I was like, oh man, this is so Hill Housey. You know, I like it.
Oh,
and then you're like, fuck.
You know, they actually are pending, if this movie does well, a prequel.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh.
And I pray it's not the same scriptwriter or the same director.
No, then Ralph will get his Wendigo, Joey.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, there we go.
Cool.
We'll get Judd's dog.
The Indian story would be like where you want to go.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
God, they don't go that far back. They go and they show like the army guy story.
They get Mel Gibson to authenticate the actual language spoken.
It made me sad because in the original one, the one I always kind of cringe at because I always like think it's kind of goofy or cheesy is when the zombie boys killing the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's better. Dad hate living. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, you know what? I actually missed that watching this remake. I was like, damn it, there should have been more of the scary goofiness that exists.
Yeah,
because there's
like I said, they did take a lot of their own liberties when they made this, and it's really unfortunate. Because for me, with I don't know, it's just I'll wait to say those. Gotcha. The movie like. It really did miss out on a lot of those beats because I wish they would have thrown in those stories, you know, because like you were saying before I interjected with the Wendigo story or Wendigo is that they don't give you any sense of danger. They're just like, oh yeah, Indian burial ground or Indian burials, whatever have you, soil sour, maybe a Wendigo. We don't fucking know.
We never even got a full shot of the Indian burial ground.
Mm-mm.
It was all so close.
Yeah, it was all really fucking
right.
close.
How many fucking pets can you bury in that? I mean, it's about the size of this.
The left side and the right side is available.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, just bury it here on top of my dog.
There wasn't a full shot of the Pet Semetary, and there wasn't a full shot of like the burial ground.
There was never a full shot. Like you got, I think the most that you got was probably like a quarter of it when the camera had pulled out. But that was about it. Unless that was supposed to be the entire thing, and that's really fucking small. That's like the size of a jacuzzi.
You know what I thought about though when they go up the stairs? I thought about when you have to make your sacrifice to get the soul stone. That's what I thought about. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna meet fucking Red Skull's gonna be up there.
Yep.
He's gonna have to throw fucking Zoe Saldana off the fucking cliff.
Bye, church.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, little one.
You mean throw Zelda Goldman off?
Zelda Goldman? You mean the producer of Spam? The musical?
Glow.
Possibly.
Maybe. You never know.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, it's our fucking retracing.
I give it a recommend.
I bet you do.
Recommend you waste your money.
Let's do final thoughts.
Yes,
We'll make it
guess.
super quick.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
No, let's talk about the shocking ending. Really?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ellie comes back. Ellie's back, and it's.
I do like how they did her droopy eye.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
It was.
No,
It was cool. Like that
church
was.
cat. How he had that weird droopy eye or raised eyebrow. I love the kitty in this, but I was like, that's the thing is like how they did church. Church was played by 4 different cats.
Yeah. Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker eye for the last 2.
He did mocap,
And then
Mocat.
mocap for the mocat.
Motherfucker.
But there's this thing when they come back, they have like a droopy side of their face. It seems like, I don't know if it's because church got ran over and she got ran over that their face got fucked up. But she's got like this weird droopy eye, and yeah, she's like, it's very much more talkative.
Truck hit them and they went cross-eyed.
It's very much hit the pavement. They went back. I don't know.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So I mean, there's a lot more dialogue with this child that I liked in the beginning, where she's like, "Am I dead?
I can hear the forest
Right.
inside me."
There was things. Well, wait. There was things like that in saying, "Am I dead?" and questioning. I remember the truck. I remember blackness. How did I get here? And I like that she's kind of asking.
She's trying
questions.
to piece everything together.
What are you
But then,
gonna
like
tell
the
Mommy?
very next day, her going fucking wild is kind of like, what? Okay, so they just. It seems like it takes a day for the evil to set in.
Yeah.
I think,
But then they don't follow their own logic, because then the mother turns evil right away, and then the father turns evil right away. There's no day, wait, 24-hour period.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, church even.
It's like a
hangs
microwave,
out.
you just put it for 2 minutes and it's ready.
I mean, church
Popcorn.
Church even hangs out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like church, the first day is
Well,
just a
it's-
stinky
Comes back
cat.
at night.
Second day, he swipes at her.
It seems like they tried to go with the idea that the book originally had, which was essentially they don't go evil. They just kind of go about the motions of everything happening, and then from there, if I remember right, the demons into possessing or whatever, the Wendigo or the spirits, whatever, into possessing the body, but they still follow through the motions as though they're there. It's just unemotional.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of end up throwing that all to the wayside because within about 24, 48 hour span, they lose it.
I always think that Stephen King went to the Cannes Film Festival or something like that and saw Evil Dead, and he kind of plugged in the Deadite scenario into this with the family scenario. And I think that was always like what fueled him on this, because I think that was right around the time of these 2 releases, and he was a big Sam Raimi Evil Dead fan. And I think he loved the idea of the Deadites a demon being able to possess, localize memory, but still fester in the idea of like, we're going to grow our horde, join us kind of scenario too. And when this plays in, I think the only fucking scene that the remake's got going for it is that beautiful scene where the dad is bathing the daughter and he's combing her hair, vis-a-vis the scene where, Ellie's petting or trying to
Trying to
detangle brush Church. I go, wow, these are cool scenes because they mirror each other. And even later, it would play out even further into the demonology cat scenario thing and the Wendigo scenario when he steps on the daughter's chest and she does that spasm like a cat, get furious. But that scene where the father's brushing the daughter's hair and he sees the stitches going along the back of the staples in the back of the head. And like Nate spoke to the droopy eye, I go, this is what the film's missing. You're not supposed to be scared of the family. You're supposed to hurt because your fucking need for that normality is so great that you will sink into the darkest fucking the stonier. Nobody knows the stony of a man's heart bullshit. You lived up to that quote, and that's the goosebumps you want to feel in the theater. Is your profane longing to love and need for sincere, goodbye, and that completion. Is it so great that you would test that water? And that's what this film never fucking felt. That's what the mother never held on to. Like the idea that the mother would have those fatigues or that anxiety about her daughter, her sister, and they never played up the scenario of like what the loss meant to her. I was crying so hard that I don't think I was crying at all. I was laughing. I was, thank God that Zelda's dead. She's finally dead. It's like all these little moments, these little beats that make the story so viable and significant or oblivious from this film. So the only thing you're in that theater for is for jump scares.
Yeah.
Or unfamiliarity, I guess. I mean, and
curiosity?
I guess.
I was there for a retelling, not a retelling, but a reimagining. And instead what I got was a carbon copy missing the important parts, like the vital, the heart of the movie, I guess.
Well, what me and the wife were talking about was like, when we walked out of it, you saw the miniseries be elevated. You still want to enjoy the miniseries, but the fucking film elevated the story.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this made it significant in its own right. And what Pet Semetary, the remake, did is like, it didn't elevate the original. It made the original more appreciative. You appreciate the standard that was set.
Maybe for people our age.
But when you go to this, it's like direct to video Hereditary. Like if I want to watch a good version of Pet Semetary, I watch Hereditary. Because that has all the family beats and it has that significant closure at the end that just creeps you the fuck out to the very core of you. And then with this, it was like, you know what, we're going to try to do something that's very significant and very dark with Ellie coming back and Ellie being this significant force to fight with. And then the manipulation of the mother, which was a very cool scene. I'll give them that. That scene with Ellie and the mother was just like the mother looking at her child going, you know what, you're not my daughter. I can feel it in my insides. I can sit next to you and know my daughter died and where the fuck you are, you're not it. I thought that was the one moment the fucking mother character showed strength. And there was actually significance and like emotion. And I was like, wow, it's too little, too late. Like, come on, guys. Like, y'all should have been bringing this throughout the fucking film. And when it came to that fucking last scene of the family walking up on Gage in the car.
We'll talk about the end all the way. We said we were going to talk about it, but okay. So Ellie stabs mother. She dies, but before she dies, she tells the husband, don't bury me out there.
Yeah.
And then, Ellie whacks her dad over the head, knocks him cold, and she drags the mom out past the pet cemetery. And then the dad goes out there to find him. He confronts her in the confronts Ellie in the pet cemetery, and they have a little fight, tit for tat. But yeah, as Jeff said, he's holding her down. She's fucking spinning out. He's going to kill her, and then he gets stabbed right through the fucking chest. And the mom,
like Iron Cross.
Yeah, the mom already came
cross.
back. So then they bury him, and they come out. The last scene broke my heart because I'm like, oh, Gage is fucking in the car. That poor kid. Oh shit, they're coming back for him. And then Dad, taps on the window, and it's like, oh fuck, credits. But it's like shit. And I leaned over Ralph. I was like, hey, this is how Walking Dead started. Everybody keeps getting killed and buried because it's like it seems like that's the Wendigo demon's calling card. Is it wants to kill, to drag, to make another, to drag, to make another, to
join us.
Yeah, exactly. Join us.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever the dad and Ellie were fighting, I was really, really hoping I would hear.
No fair, no fair.
But what was really cool, another one of the little things that I liked a lot, was that whenever Ellie was going after Judd, her face was morphing.
Oh, yeah.
It morphed to Norma, saying, I know what you did. I know what you fucking did. And it's like, you know nothing!
And the ankle and the Achilles tendon is better in this movie.
Yeah, the Achilles tendon
That's
is better.
fucking gross.
In and out.
I was like, I watched Nate cringe on that one.
Yeah. Oh, God. Achilles tendons and fingernails will get me every fucking time, man.
They showed too much in the trailer. They revealed that one.
Well, I mean, we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
but
we
they
did that.
shouldn't have. They had the build-up of the bed scene. They should never have shown the stairwell. It's like, you don't do that. Like, what the fuck?
It's the, like, one of the 4 kills in this movie. Like, you shouldn't.
You should have just shown us the bed.
And fucking Pascal, his fucking brain is in his cheekbone. Like, you can see his brain. It's like the entire side of his head. Put your 2 fists together. That's the size of your brain. Like, it doesn't run all the way fucking down to your
and
shoulders.
It beats.
Yeah, well, it does.
It does beat. Yeah.
It does have like a little wave.
What perfect 97 BPM.
Well, I'm a smoker, so mine's 110 at all times.
I was watching Nate as he was watching that scene.
I couldn't watch that scene. Oh my god!
Right?
Nate's like, I could see Nate out of the corner of my eye. He's sitting there watching it, and like it shows the scene with the brains like down here, and Nate's just shaking his head.
I was just getting my fear in Las Vegas.
And all I hear is like Nate, like from years ago, saying that he used to work in an ER. He held someone's brain in his hand. He's like, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah. Cracked open skull. I had to hold it together.
The whole fucking
literally
scene,
and metaphorically.
Yeah, well, shit.
That whole scene, I just wanted to chew on a fresh adrenal gland. That's all. I was sweating.
Tell me about the fucking golf shoes.
Cold sweats. That whole fucking scene. I was like, oh god.
Cold as your pickle.
Continue the fucking story. What's next?
Put your hands where I can see him. Put your fucking hands where I can see him.
The bureau was stained with hard mustard that dried to a crust. All right, let's go into final thoughts. Yeah, go ahead, Ralph.
Go ahead. Okay, cool. I'll start this runaway truck of movie review. So this movie, I went into it with really high hopes because I wanted to. I'm same page as Nate. I want to see like a retelling, a reimagining. You know, for like current generations. The movie, it was entertaining to me. I found it somewhat entertaining. I thought the acting was done better. But the ending really killed it for me. Like whenever they killed off Ellie all the way to the end, I felt there was just so much more that was there was so much more that could have been delved into. There was so much more that could have been done. The girl, I got like a Reagan feel for her. Like she felt like Reagan from The Exorcist, from just her mannerisms, the way she was talking, the way she was acting, and just how her voice went from like a very high chipper to a very low and what are we doing, Daddy? Are you gonna tell her? Kind of thing. And it got creepy, but it didn't feel right. Like something, like the entire thing felt off. And by the time the movie was over, I was at that point where you are at the halfway mark, where this is fucking boring. They should have taken, like you said, the original and just built off of that. For me, this movie is like, if you want to see a retelling of it, you're really big into like remakes and redos and redubs and whatever, anything. Rent it maybe when it comes out on like Redbox, or if it shows up on Netflix. You're already spending the subscription on the Netflix. It's technically a free movie at that point, so knock yourself out. But I wouldn't go out to spend the money on it right now or whenever it comes out on Blu-ray. Dollar theater best. Yeah. So
avoid.
Yeah, rent or avoid. It just really depends on how you feel about Stephen King's work. Like, if you're a big fan, then maybe you might want to rent it, but I wouldn't buy it.
For me, Yeah, I mean, Ralph already said it. I wanted a reimagining of this story. I wanted it. You know what I mean? I wanted something that improves upon the original. The original is not a great fucking movie. What it was at that time in I was 8 when I saw the original Pet Semetary. What I wanted was something that meant something to me, that improved upon a movie that I have nostalgia for. Like It, if you watch the TV miniseries, the original It movie, it's not a great fucking movie by any stretch of the imagination, but because of nostalgia, it holds this near and dear spot in my heart, and Tim Curry's fucking amazing in it. But what It did, the new one, 2016, or whenever it came out, what it did was it took that story, turned it on its head, and improved it. And it improved it a lot. There was plenty of scary lines. There was plenty of scary imagery. There was plenty of jump scares. It had everything that worked for an improvement or a reimagining of a tale. This didn't have that. And it was very, and I didn't overhype myself for that. I mean, a lot of you listeners are probably like, well, you guys bought in the hype. I didn't. I watched the trailer.
If anybody bought the hype, it was me.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the first trailer probably twice, and then this newest trailer I watched one time. I just kind of wanted to go into it as dark as I could. And it's very rare when a movie looks great, the acting is good, but the story sucks and doesn't do anything and falls flat. What it did was it took the heart, the good lines that made the I don't know, the binding agents of the very first movie, and just did away with it. So you're kind of left with like this non-emotional moment. When Ellie died, I couldn't have given a fuck. I was like, meh. When Gage died, I fucking, as a father, still to this day want to cry. Like, it's like fucking horrible to watch. It's sad. Like Jeff said, shows the flashes of the pictures of him as a boy growing up, and then the father screaming, his best performance, by the way, screaming no. The funeral scene, just everything that was tangible in the first one is lacking here. But what this one improves upon from the original is the cinematography. I dug the music. I will give the sound good kudos, because I think it's a chick, but who is it? What's her name?
It's Christopher Young.
Oh, Christopher Young. That's right.
Who did the soundtrack for Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. The soundtrack is good. The acting is good. The story doesn't gel. So I'm going to give it an avoid. But if you want to see it, just don't cross that road. Don't go down that road.
It needed more yelp.
I mean, it did. I can't think of a movie. Jeff, can you think of a movie where almost everything was set up to be perfectly on par, but then the story tears it apart? Can you think of any movie that does that?
What was the question?
Recently?
Where the acting's good, the cinematography's good, the direction's good. I honestly think this is an editing problem.
It follows.
Fucking Jesus. Story. That joke's about 5 years old.
Well, the story's shit, and everything else is great.
Oh, come the fuck on. Okay.
Not going to get into it.
But Jason Clarke, I liked him in Public Enemies. I liked him in The New Wall Street. I liked him in quite a few different movies, The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I like this guy. Terminator Genesis. He's a good actor. He's the manic side of him in this movie is good. The rest of it is dry bread. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. I think they're trying to build this new Stephen King universe, and it just put the bar so fucking high. This was supposed to kind of keep it up, but it just fell fucking flat. So, no.
This was one of the movies where I think midway to the last 10 minutes of the film, I just went ahead and I had one of those luxury recliner seats during this film, and I put my legs down, and I grabbed my popcorn bucket and my drink, and I was just like, as soon as this
ready
ends,
to bolt.
I'm out of here. I was hoping that people learn from their mistakes. I was hoping that people grow from current films. And that's why I think there's this Tarantino quote that just happened recently. I read recently because of his birthday. Quentin Tarantino said, there's people who love films, and then there's people who think they love films, but really they just love the films they love. And those are the two kinds of people. And I think if you're not the person that loves film, you're always going to think you sit on this fucking great idea. But until you love film and you watch the shit and the crap and the good stuff, you watch everything, you don't really have a baseline for what has been done and what can be done better. And I think that this film was one of those films that I think if you watch enough stuff, I think you should have known better when you're doing a remake of such a fucking fun property. I love Stephen King. I watch anything with Stephen King. I sat through Castle Rock. I sat through everything. You find the purpose in films like The Shining and stuff like that. But one of the key properties I always loved and held on to is Pet Semetary. I was a huge fan of the original film. And it's not because, oh yeah, it's kind of cheeseball. I know it's cheeseball. But there's a heart in there that they form. And then they fucking stab it. And they hold it in front of your face. Until that last moment when the dad has to put a fucking needle in the cat and then put a needle in his child, Gage, to the very scene where he buries his wife knowing that oblivion is going to be bestowed on him. He still does it. I have to take that chance. If there's a glimmer, a chance that my wife can come back and I can have her again, I'm going to take it. This film clicked none of those boxes. It vaguely got into some of the areas, but it missed it completely. With this property, you should have known better. You should have known better. There was something you could have done here that could have been so right. You had a great cinematographer. You had pretty level-headed directors. I don't know if your screenwriters were your weak point. I can't diss the cast too much, but there was so much in here that could have been right. And like Nate and Ralph said, with the standard of it, with the standard of the original, we should achieve something better in this film. And maybe I'm just old, or maybe I'm just too glued into what the original property was as a literature, or even the original film. But this should have had more heart. And what fucks up horror more than anything is when you hurt, when there's loss. And this failed to deliver that as strongly as I think this property should have.
Another thing that fucks up horror is just, hey, I'm making a quick buck. Like a director that just really just doesn't fucking care.
And I can't say that this
Andy Muschietti cared about it. He loved the original.
And I can't attack the directors on this either because I don't know that that was the issue. I think they were just maybe a little too... this is their sophomore film, I believe. I think they weren't ready for something like this.
Well, I mean, what else did Andy Muschietti do before it?
Mama. I mean, he had.
Oh, he did Mama.
He did some properties. I think that he had the. And I don't know. Maybe sometimes when you're married and you have kids, so these guys are married with kids, and they really miss the bouncing point. But even as having a father, you should know where to strike. Having a mother, where to strike. Where your moments are going to be in this story. It's going to be that purposeful loss or that fucking dirty greed to like want more time.
I agree.
And that's what this is. It's basic shit. And I feel sorry for everybody that has to go out there and cough up their hard-earned money and spend their hard-earned time in this film. If you enjoy it, then I'm glad. I'm hoping when we post this fucking this episode, y'all chime in the comments and let us know what we did miss. Because beyond me getting a little smirk when the guy gets a phone call and it's from Sheena, that's like one of the only times I smiled in the film, I think. Maybe once or twice. But when he gets a phone call from Sheena and it distracts him to get in the wreck with to hit Ellie and stuff. In the original, Sheena was a pub rocker from the Ramones that's playing in the road. And the guy's all jamming it. And it was just kind of a funny quip that he would get the phone call from Sheena on his cell phone. And that would be the distraction that would cause him to have the wreck. I thought that was cool. But is that enough?
No.
Yeah. Lawsuit.
But, yeah.
That's an oil company.
Lawsuit?
Lawsuit. Big time.
But I'm I'm a big one who hates to shit on films, especially.
Yeah, you praise shitty films.
Yeah, and this one kind of hurt. Yeah. I think it's because it's a touchy property. I really wanted.
Well, I agree. Like I said, it's a nostalgia property for me and you. We saw it when we were kids. Ralph, he told me he saw it
in college.
College, gotcha.
I couldn't imagine seeing that. When was that? 2006, 2008,
2006, 2007.
I mean,
like shit. That's when horror movies were being handed to me.
Yeah. I love having Ralph on here because fresh perspective.
Exactly. That's why whenever Ralph gets something I don't get, I'm like, cool. But when he agrees with me on like It Follows a shitty film, I'm like, cool. I'm not a fucking idiot. Thank God I'm not a moron.
Vindication.
Oh boy, I suck it hard.
That's what she said.
I'm sorry. I'll come around.
I hope not.
Hopefully, I'll watch a really...
I hope you stay a miserable fuck the rest of your days.
He'll watch Jeepers Creepers. And he'll pair that Jeepers Creepers with a fine wine of It Follows.
Yeah. My eyesight's getting worse. I get like the Scotty doesn't know kind of.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not alone. I mean, the majority of people feel that was a great.
And I think
you know what? I don't even want to fucking talk about.
We actually,
it.
You know what?
You want to fucking talk about? Because I fucking love that movie. You two fucking idiots.
No. Like you said, you're not the only one. We actually have a listener. He actually, me and him were talking about this the other day. Like I ran into him, and he was like, "Oh, hey, have you seen It Falls?" I was like, "That's a garbage film." He was like, "I like it." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's cool for you, man."
Yeah. Now you're going to tell me he has an IQ of 5.
No, he's like Jeff. He likes a lot of like the artsy films.
Yeah, skinny jeans.
I just shit, I'm too fat for skinny jeans. It'd be like a fucking sausage packed in too tight a fucking wad.
It looks like you're smuggling 2 cherries in the Slim Jim.
There you go.
Well, that's a can of Spam in the hot vehicle.
I need to breathe.
But no, he was like, he was like, oh, I like.
If you have to use pliers to zip up your jeans, there's something wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong if you have
forceps.
Jesus.
Oh man.
You okay there, bud?
All right. Huh?
All right.
Oh yeah. Well, hit my music.
Is this Aussie conditioner?
That is fine hide leather.
You have never felt softer penis. Let me hear your shit, baby. You're good. Good.
You're really right up there. Like a fucking Pepsi commercial.
Good.
Don't go see the fucking movie.
In the end, I'm glad we went and saw it. You know, we pulled the Band-Aid off. We went and saw it. I mean, we're getting better at staying current with what drops.
I saw the trailer for Curse of La Llorona. I want to see that.
Me too. You see
but then again, I'm a sucker for fucking ghost
James
stories.
Wan shit.
Well, James Wan, but ghost stories in general. I'm a sucker for those.
The little teaser for the new Annabelle. Oh my! The new Annabelle looks. It's like the daughter of the.
I was just admiring the Elton John movie.
Oh man, Rocket Man looks awesome. Yes. That looks really cool.
I think I broke Nate's heart because I was like, I'm more excited about this than I was with Bohemian Rhapsody because I grew up more on Elton John because he showed up on the Muppets a lot more than fucking Queen did.
Well, did you watch Bohemian Rhapsody? It's a fucking horrible movie.
I thought I was watching Kingman 3. I saw that Rocket Man trailer. I was like, ooh, I went to the new. No, it's not Kingman. Kingsman. Sorry. Kingman.
Arizona.
Kingman. Arizona.
But yeah, no, I think I broke Nate's heart a little bit when I was like, oh yeah, no, I like Elton John more than I do Queen. What?
I was a Queen guy. I love Queen.
I can name more Queen songs than I can Elton John.
That's right.
Like I said, he showed up on Muppets more than Queen did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
always get Elton John and Liberace mixed up.
I think they were the same person.
Same clothes.
They just threw on the Jeepers Creeper 3 mask.
Jesus, when he looks like a Twilight baseball player.
Jesus Christ.
That got me. You watch Alien Resurrection?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you sure? The fourth one?
I want to say I did. That was the prison one, wasn't it?
No.
No, that's the third one.
Alien Resurrection, where like the beginning is pretty much like Joss Whedon writing Alien. It's basically Firefly.
Is it whenever Ripley was running around, she had like the acid blood after
Yes.
they revived her? Okay, yeah, I've seen it then.
with Ron Perlman. Oh my god!
Yeah, they're all kind of fused together.
I just want to watch that first 40 minutes and turn it off.
For real.
No mama shit. Oh, with Fox incorporating
Uh-oh.
Disney and Sigourney Weaver being the hybrid princess
Protagonist?
queen of the aliens. Does that make her a Disney princess?
Probably. Disney actually
It
stated
does.
Disney actually stated that they will continue the Alien franchise.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
it'll
like,
be
oh,
PG.
God, that'd be awesome to see Ripley standing up there with the Disney princesses.
I mean,
my
shit,
God.
why not?
That puts a smile on my face.
Dude, I mean, yeah.
The new Joker trailer?
We're going to have...
Oh,
Who gives a fuck?
yeah.
dude.
Who gives a
That is
fuck?
That was magic.
that was magic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That made
looks
me-
like magic.
Jesus. I wanted to watch Suicide Squad.
I wanted to commit suicide.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go as far as to say Suicide Squad.
Yeah, no shit. I can't wait.
I just, yeah.
I can't wait. New Joker.
It's better than that bullshit that we got with Gotham.
Oh god, that was kind of weird.
That was fucking weird.
I don't even know what these guys
The
are
Gotham
fucking
TV
talking
series,
about.
they introduced a new Joker.
Yeah,
I
the
know
same
nothing.
fucking day that they released the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Irony? No.
Yeah, fucking irony. Or more like, hey, pissing contest.
You know, they now own the rights to Predator. They own the rights to Alien. They own... I don't know. Dude,
Blade Runner.
I really hope Disney puts out some fucking goodness.
I want to see Blade Runner meets Tron.
That'd be awesome.
I want to see that. Cells within cells within. Hey, man, it's Jeff Bridges. It's like, fuck. This is awesome. Oh, man.
I don't know how he survived in there without eating. It's digital jazz,
He's
man.
vegan.
He had a pig on a skewer. How the fuck do you have a pig?
He had pistachio microchips. It's a pate.
It tastes like nothing. But it gives you sustenance to stay alive. I don't know. Although, God, I really wish they'd continue Tron.
Oh, dude. Blendon Almond Coy.
I really wish they'd continue Tron.
Yep.
Because I don't know. I'm probably alone on that, but I love Tron Legacy.
No, Tron
but
was
the
fucking amazing.
Animated Tron Uprising, if you can, seek it the fuck out. It is so good. It is so fucking
The soundtrack's amazing.
good. Oh, God, the
It's-
soundtrack's great.
Fucking Tomorrowland killed that movie.
Fuck Tomorrowland.
I like Tomorrowland.
The
Tomorrowland is good.
fuck Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland is the one that tanked the idea of doing another Tron movie.
Yep.
I think Tron Legacy tanked the idea of doing another Tron movie.
Oh no, it did amazing in theaters.
Yeah, in Japan.
Well,
where they have the
Like
ride.
Utah.
Dollars
Dude.
are dollars, bro.
In Japan, they got the fucking Tron ride at their Disney. I was like, dude, I want to go on the Tron ride. Like, why haven't I?
The motorcycles.
It's uncomfortable.
Is it?
I don't know.
right.
I could imagine.
From YouTube.
Uncomfortable for a fat man.
Well, dude, it's like when Six
I like
Flags
vanity
had
sizes
the
motorcycles.
Riddler's Revenge. When Six Flags had the Riddler's Revenge, do you know that ride where you're standing straight up?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
God
Let me
damn.
tell you a story. I went there as a kid, probably about 15, right? Okay, so you're standing straight up in this fucking thing.
like a bicycle seat?
No, yeah, well, you got this little harness under your
banana
nuts,
seat?
right? So you got a seat with the bicycle thing right here.
And Batman the Escape.
And then you got to pull down, and then it latches together, and it goes up and down
Yep.
to adjust for size.
Yeah.
Me being a smart ass, I was jumping,
Of course you were.
and
And
they
it hit the
locked
hydraulics.
it with my feet that far off the fucking ground. So every backflip or every little fucking dive,
Felt in your dick and your balls.
my nuts got squished, bro.
He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
Oh my fucking God, it hurts so bad. So
This is the origin
I
story of the
imagine-
brown tomato.
this is the origin story of the popped tomatoes. Yeah. That's why I can't grow pubes.
And blue Speedos.
His testicles were about as red as that balloon right there.
Oh,
Jesus.
dude, it hurt so bad. And that's like
Probably about that size.
That was like a 2.5 minute ride,
Oh,
too.
fucking shit.
Brutal.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It hurt so bad.
Oh, my
so I
God.
imagine the Tron bike being very similar.
Could be.
Ugh.
So
you're laying like a crotch rocket. You're all dick and balls laying forward.
That's awesome. Oh, wow. I didn't know they can get that flat.
I'll just tuck it back. Lay it flat on the
Does this look like cancer to you?
It's engorged.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
The balls are inert.
Oh, God.
So I think that's pretty much it for fucking Pet Semetary from us.
Can't elevate from that story.
Along with everything else.
It's getting edited out. Yeah, I'm Nate.
I'm Jeff.
And this is Ralph.
Catch us next time.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to Deep in the Horror of Texas. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. If you like what you hear, please leave a review on the iTunes or Stitcher radio app. And above all, remember to keep it scary.
All movie sound clips, sound effects, and music used in Deep in the Horror of Texas is owned by the copyright holders. Deep in the Horror of Texas makes no claim of ownership on the copyrighted audio and simply uses it for the sole purpose of entertainment, criticism, commentary, and education or fair use. Please support the official release of the audio used in today's episode where available to you, and remember to keep it scary.